The New York Times once called Reggie Love President Obama's personal aide, shadow, caretaker, basketball buddy, and roving diplomat. In 4.5 years as a president's special assistant, starting with the 2008 campaign, they traveled more than, listen to this number, 1 million miles together. Well, Reggie Love joins us at the table. Good morning to you, Reggie.
Oh, good morning.
It's
Thank
really
you for
good
having
to
me
see
here today.
Now, I know that you were the last person that President Obama saw before he walked out to give the inaugural address, so let's take in that moment for just a second. So you, more than most people, would know how he's feeling, what he does. How do you compare then to this day today?
Well, I remember that day very vividly. A few hundred yards across the mall, he addressed almost 2 million people here in what was a historic day for the country. On that day specifically, there was definitely a moment, a calmness, where you sort of realize how important that moment in time is before you walk out to address the American people as the new commander-in-chief.
But you all were trying to get your bearings, weren't you, at that point?
Yeah, I think the first family had moved 3 times from the Hay Adams to the Blair House to the White House. I think he made a joke about, I keep waking up in all these different places. I don't even know how to turn the lights on.
He knows now.
How has he changed, Reggie? Lots of people are writing today about 4 years in that job changes you.
Yeah. Well, I think 4 years in any job changes you, but when the buck kind of stops with you, I think there are a lot of moments in time where you're responsible for things that you never thought that you'd be responsible for. Everything from earthquakes in Haiti to hurricanes and floods on the East Coast that you've never seen in time. I do think that he's changed in the sense that, he definitely is more in touch with the American people, and he's worried about the middle class and worried about making sure that the right things are going to be in place to give people an opportunity to live the American dream.
And Reggie, we are seeing now the president's limousine, otherwise known as the Beast, this big limousine, armored limousine, right there pulling up outside of St. John's Church, which is known as the President's Church, where he will attend services with his family, which has been an American tradition. So the president worshiping there this morning, and we'll watch as the president gets out. You rode in that limo many times with the president, making sure everything was taken care of. And there we see the president this morning, the 44th president of the United States for the first time this morning. And his wife, the First Lady, Michelle Obama. They'll be joined by Vice President Joe Biden as his family inside the church. And there we see their 2 daughters, Malia and Sasha, the family dressed in purple on this occasion.
Are you having a little ping, Reggie? Because last year you were there. Are you feeling,
Wow. Well, I tell you, Malia and Sasha were not that tall this year, last year this time. So it's really amazing to see how things have changed.
You're not the only person that has left the administration. And over the weekend, there was a piece in the New York Times said that the first family feels that they are now more confident, but more scared and more isolated.
Yeah. Well, I think there's some truth to be said. When you go to the White House and you come with a team of folks who've been with you for 2.5 years through what was a very tough campaign, and for many of those people to stay the first 4 years, and then to see most of those folks leaving, it's tough, because there's a level of trust that he has with people like David Axelrod, with Gibbs, with myself, and it's hard to be able to bring in new people who you have that same level of comfort and trust with. But I do think that there are tons of great people who are still there, like Alyssa Mastromonaco and Pete Rouse, and folks, and Marvin Nicholson, folks who...
Valerie,
and folks who they know well and they trust, and they'll blend in and they'll figure out and they'll make it work.
Is there a moment that you would want to tell your children about with this president?
So many moments for me. I'm blessed to have had the opportunity, to Gail's point, to travel around the world, to see firsthand the pyramids in Egypt with the president, the Great Wall, and to even have a moment where my college basketball coach and the president are in the Oval Office with me together.
And now we have Vice President Biden's motorcade arriving at St. John's Church. He will join the president there in worship this morning, along with his family. And they will have a service there and then head up here to Capitol Hill, where we'll hear from the president and the swearing in just before noontime Eastern time, when the president will deliver his second inaugural address. So, Reggie, in moments like this, is the president nervous? Does he get nervous?
Well, I think on the second time around, you're a little less nervous, but still, you understand the severity and the impactfulness of the moment, and I think there's always a little bit of butterflies in your stomach before you go out to execute on what is going to be your vision and plan for the American people.
Do you think he feels the same sense of possibility that he did 4 years ago?
I mean, I think, you know, he thinks that this is the greatest country on earth, but in the last 4 years, I think we've seen that it has been difficult to sort of do all the things that he's wanted to do for this country. You have a new Congress that's just been sworn in the last month, and I think people probably are looking forward to getting to know a lot of the new members and understanding what are the possibilities that can happen with this new Congress and this second term.
You were called the body man, responsible for the body of the president. What do you know about him in terms of who he really is that most of us don't quite know?
That's a great question, and I tell people all the time that, and I think Gail and I were speaking about this earlier, you know, he is the president of the United States. When he leaves office, he's going to have a great, fantastic life afterwards. But I think how much time he actually spends focusing on and worrying about how to make life better for the middle class, I think that is one of the things that's really core to him. And, you know, he stays up 2, 3 in the morning, reading briefings, reading old books on former presidents, and trying to come up with new ideas on how can we sort of move the ball forward for this country. And that's one of the things that I'm always impressed with, that he works tirelessly for the American people all the time.
All right.
Reggie, thank you so much.
It's good to see you. Before you go, what's Michelle Obama wearing tonight, Reggie?
I know what I do know. Regardless of who made it, it will look stunning.
Reggie Love.
You're safe on all ground.
Always a diplomat.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.